Hey guys, it's Anne Marie. Happy tantalizing Thursday. Hold on. Just kidding. I was gonna do my cat thing, but I was like, didn't I do the cat thing a couple days ago? I'm trying to mix it up a little bit, like Sir Mix-a-Lot. Oh, I love me. I hope everybody is having a great week. I thought I'd pull some cards and get some messages of clarity. I want to give a quick shout out. If you haven't followed a creator by the name of Emil Brown, Emil Brown, go follow him. I joined, got on his live and got me a reading. And as always, it's not my first reading I've got from him. But he's an amazing creator and reader and just person in general. So go check him out. And thank you, Emil. I mean, as I say, when I do shout out videos, I'm like, for real. Like these confirmations, like literally every card, it was absolutely amazing. So I appreciate it. Alrighty, so what do the Native Americans want us to know? Thank you to my high vibrating ancestors, spirit guides, divine communities, source of light energy. Can you please get some messages of clarity for those who would like it? Thank you to the west, the north, the east. You've been holding on for a second. I was like, you're going to come off about there? Well, I think I don't know if you can see. Hold on. You only can see probably one, but I have my drums right there. I have quite a few of my drumming instruments. So we pulled the card drum, communicate with the Great Spirit. There's nothing as eloquent as a rattlesnake's tail. And again, we pulled this and I talked about that you were like the rattlesnake's tail. And it was interesting because when I went back and watched that video, there was so much more I wanted to say and I felt like the message wasn't finished. And so maybe this is a continuum of that. I'm not sure because I still get the same almost type of message. Spirit. Okay. Here's a little different part of the message. In case you didn't see that one, which is okay. Your whole life, there's a confirmation there, Citizen Zap. Your whole life, there has been this narrative or rhetoric, I'm using this word, I like to repeat stuff over and over again, about you that never quite really was you. I mean, we can say if you resonate, I mean, this is pretty general, but the black sheep, and this is deeper than the black sheep or the problem child or, whatever you want to resonate, the scapegoat, right? This was so embedded in you that it may not have been all of your life. It may not have been really deep, but there's always been some part of you. For some of you, through your teenage year, it ran a lot deeper. That you embodied these projections that your family, culture, society, your surroundings, caregivers placed upon you. Let's say you were, well, first of all, you were just a kid and say you spilled your milk a lot or dropped dishes. Oh, you're always so clumsy, but they may not realize that you were just really anxious around them because they raised their voice a lot. It's like your child, right? And so you started to wear these things like a sheet of armor, and you almost became afraid of yourself. Everybody said how ugly and scary a rattlesnake was, because it's one of the, not the most feared, but a feared snake. If you'd rather come across a little garden snake or a rattlesnake or a cobra, right? I mean, or viper. I mean, there's, those higher level snakes, right? And so even parts of you were afraid of yourself and thought that the scales of your skin were ugly, metaphorically and physically. And what Spirit is saying is that though you've probably broken through that, there's still some areas in your life that you're seeing yourself as this scaly, ugly rattlesnake that everybody's afraid of, and not seeing the beauty that you hold with the inside of your soul and spirit. I mean, you're an amazing person. I mean, most days, probably. But there's still pieces of you, maybe in a few areas of your life, that there's still those spirits just show me like it's like you're still wearing the traumas of other people, the traumas of your culture, the traumas of your upbringing, the traumas of your caregivers. And this isn't just immediate, this is for generations. Generations were carrying that. And it makes it difficult to break cycles when we can't recognize, or when we're not able to recognize how deep some of these wounds go. The view you have of yourself and the negative polarity, if you will, the not so kind things that you think about yourself, however you want to identify it. Where did those stem from? Where are the root causes of those beliefs about yourself? In fact, it's actually an eloquent mosaic painting of a rattlesnake tail. Each little scale is like a stained glass window in a church. I was thinking of, is it St. Christopher's that I saw in England or Scotland? It was one of the most magical. I love going to see churches. There's a few in Pittsburgh as well. That the Cathedral of Learning was a building, but there's a church right across the street from it. But anyway, and there was also a Croatian church, one of the last in the country, in the United States. It's near Pennsylvania. It's in Pittsburgh, near Pittsburgh. And each stained glass told a story, not just of the Bible, but of amazing people. I mean, I'm just giving examples like Amelia Earhart or Einstein, like all these other great people, right? And Spirit is saying that you're not seeing these beautiful stained glasses of your body and soul and your experience in life. They're beautiful pieces of art. They're not these ugly scales to be afraid of on a snake. You can use that mosaic or glass shards of a tail from your rattlesnake tail to respond and zap people, like, the death, the little, what's called the death punch, tap or something. I don't know, 2-finger punch, death. I don't know, 1 finger. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. If you're into Kung Fu, And so there's still be areas of your life that you're like using this tail, almost like a Scorpio tail. But it's because you as well have a negative perception of those scales on your tail, not realizing they're these beautiful pieces of stained glass. That's a part of you. That's a part of your story. And it needs to be eloquently displayed. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And these scales are, like, again, it's like these scales are things that have been projected onto you, and you may not even recognize it because it runs so deep in your family. And so Spirit is saying, where are we at in time? Okay. Spirit is saying is that start taking a look at the negative beliefs, the negative thoughts that you think about yourself, whatever it is. It can go, the scale is wide. Where did those originate from? Who told you those things? And then look at them and try to see the trauma they've experienced, the background, not to forgive them, but just to see where it goes back. Well, what about your mother's mother? Was she also depressed? What was the world like when your grandmother was alive? For me, my grandmother came over from Sicily in the early 1900s with her husband, and she was 13, he was 14, and they were married. They came over in Ellis Island in New York. I couldn't imagine the trauma they experienced. Well, I can now because I've been going back. That's what I've been doing a lot since I moved. Just really dealing with a lot of just generational stuff. Finding where the message came from and how I could debunk it. Because again, your rattlesnake tail is so beautiful. If you're going to say it's shards of glass, it's beautiful mosaic pieces of stained glass that are in the most amazing church or synagogue or temple or in your landscape, whatever it is. It's a beautiful thing and needs to be seen, healed, and expressed so everybody can see, and to remove the shame. I hope you're healthy.